The agenda I know is we're going to have an executive session moved to the end. There'll be no business conducted afterwards. So
May I ask the purpose of the executive session?
It will be legal and personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor.
what he said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump on your toes, Peter. I'm sorry.
All right, it's more official when it comes from
Yeah.
the law guy. Are there any other additions or changes to the agenda? Seeing none. In your packet, you have the minutes of the November council meeting. Is there a motion to approve? Second. Any discussion of those minutes? Corrections? Seeing none, all in favor of approving those minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Similarly, you have the minutes of the November work session. Is there a motion to approve? Second.
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And finally, you have the October financial report. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion of the October financial report? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Public comments. Do we have any ghosts down there?
Their hand raised.
Oh, is there anyone online? Kyle,
There's no one with public comment online, no, it's just staff members and the press. Pat Cluden wasn't able to make it in person.
reports. The administration committee has several motions and anything else.
We have several motions coming up and we're just finishing up some discussion about the flag policy, just some ongoing discussion on that.
Make the motions.
So our first motion is we'd like to move to adopt an ordinance amending the collection fees for delinquent utilities for the delinquent utilities account.
Ready discussion? Questions? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Second motion is on the non-management pension plan ordinance. We'd like to move to adopt an ordinance amending the non-management pension plan.
Right, that is also in your packet. Had a chance to review it. Questions? Comments? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Third item is the 2023 budget. We'd like to move to adopt the proposed 2023 budget.
Is the same as the budget that was advertised last month. Is there any discussion of this?
When was the last time we raised taxes? What I thought, okay. There's been some things in the newspaper, or not newspaper, excuse me, but in the interwebs about how we would raise taxes every year. And my recollection has been a couple of years. I just wanted to.
3 years without raising.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? This budget does not raise taxes. It just implies that the taxes have been raised. The next motion is the one to raise the taxes.
That's a fair point.
Technicalities.
Right. I can repeat myself if you want to do it that way. I mean, I got all night.
Okay, all in favor of adopting the proposed 2023 budget. Signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
So this next one, the 2023 tax ordinance. We'd like to move to adopt an ordinance fixing and levying the tax rate on real estate for the calendar year 2023.
Is there any further discussion of this one?
I said that's across the board.
Yes.
Yes.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carries.
The next one is the 2023 wage benefit resolution. We'd like to move to approve the 2022 wage and management and non-union benefit resolution.
Union employees are covered by their contract, but other employees are covered by this, so. Any discussion?
Should that be 2023?
Been the 2023 or
Sure. Corrects that. I have it in PDF, so I can't change it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
next one is the 2023 meeting schedule. Move to advertise the 2023 meeting schedule.
That's also in your packet. Any questions about that?
I just have a comment. July 4th fell on the first Tuesday, so that's why in July it's pushed back to July 11th. So it's, 2 weeks into it. So.
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Call that one.
We're spending money.
But advertise.
You're advertising.
Roll call that one.
Because
Oh,
you're spending money.
Because we're
to
spending money.
advertise.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, Solicitor. Call the roll, Lori? Yes.
Yes. Wowzer.
Yeah.
Ford,
Yes.
Harry. Bradshaw. Lancaster.
Yeah.
Wolf, yes. Smith. Steelman. Taylor. Warnock.
Yes.
10 yes.
Calls with those other things too.
I don't think, I mean,
I mean, they were all unanimous.
I don't think, I think you're okay.
Man, this one did not.
It doesn't matter. I think you're okay. Anytime you spend money, you should always do a roll call. Just. It's. But you're all right. I'd move forward. Keep
Thank you.
moving.
Okay, so the next one is the Act 57 resolution. Move to approve a resolution implementing the provisions of the Pennsylvania Act 57. Is this of 2022?
Yeah, that's the act. It's Act 57 of 2022. Gives your tax collector the ability to waive certain fees and costs.
Oh gosh, now I need to remember the question.
Yeah.
In the verbiage that payment was due with the application. But if a person has escrowed tax payment at a bank, how would they do that?
Great question. And I don't know.
From. Fill out the tax collector. And then submit to your insurance or to the bank.
But
It doesn't do with it anyway, right? If we didn't write the law, but.
this is one of those, in my opinion. This is one of those things from Harrisburg that. We're not gonna know how it gets implemented. I've talked to several tax collectors. They don't know how they're gonna be implementing it, if at all. So it's gonna be we're just gonna have to kind of move down the road and see how this plays out. Thank you, Harrisburg.
But at the same time, because the state has passed this law, we
We need to do
we
it.
don't have any choice.
Correct.
Right. Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Anything else from administration? And moving on. Community development.
You've got our November meeting minutes in your packet. Just a couple things to draw your attention to. There were a number, you should have received a number of zoning hearing notices via mail. And so those are all listed in here, and we talked, it's not up to the committee, but we talked to them with staff and there was no major concerns about them. And those, I think some of those have happened and some of them are going to happen at the zoning hearing board. The Hoodabug trail map, for those of you who like the biking and the whatnot, we'll have a map soon. That's good news. And yeah. Think positive. Maybe they'll come for Christmas. And then with the stamp plan, we're still waiting to hear from DECD about the grant we put in there, but that's gonna be to buy new code software, which we do need. And there was some concern and discussion about, trees and removing of trees. And so some of the ARP funding through the Shade Tree Commission has been used to help residents remove dangerous trees. We had a long discussion with the Stewart Group and Jeff Rakes, but that all came out at our last time we were all together as a group. So you're all familiar with that. And then in terms of the comprehensive plan, the Stewart Group is going to work with the Planning Commission. The Stewart Group did come up with a sort of a draft participation plan. And so I'm hopeful in the new year we will be getting that kind of wrapped up and getting public participation for that, so we can get that formalized. And then importantly, and I think it's going to draw my attention to this on the second page of our minutes, the borough received a letter of commendation from Tiffany Stewart of Mystic Brook Development, thanking Brenda Dar for her work. Essentially, the gist of the email letter was that Brenda was the most helpful person this individual had run into in all of the bureaucracies in all of the state of Pennsylvania during their multiple months trying to sort out some stuff for their property. And so, sometimes our code folks and our zoning folks get kind of a bad rap from development and things, and just in terms of, they're being in the way because they're trying to enforce the rules that we have passed. But in fact, they almost always go out of their way to help people do things the right way, as sort of enshrined in our various ordinances and rules. And so I think this is a really good example of the work that Brenda's doing, leading that office, and just that she's a good person. So I just want to make sure everyone saw that in the minutes. Unless there's other questions, that's all we got.
Okay. Are there any questions for community development?
Okay, we met November 17th. One of the things that we discussed, the police department submitted a photo in the Department of Justice's community-oriented policing photo contest. And hopefully we'll hear more about what the results are with that. Chief is going to talk when he speaks on the new entry level, because since we had our meeting, the old list expired on December 3rd. We have a new list out. And another thing we discussed is the AAA Platinum Traffic Award. The borough's police department has gotten this award numerous times, and it's due to diligent traffic safety efforts by the police department. And it's just not a gimme recognition. It's something that a lot of paperwork has to be done. And the chief has officers always working on this and providing a AAA with statistics. And so it's something that needs to be acknowledged, because we do consistently win this award. And I've been to one of the ceremonies. There's police departments from the West Virginia border the whole way up to Erie, and we're about the furthest east, and not everybody gets it. There's very, very few that are awarded, and we consistently win it. And another good note is the Comfort Canine program enhancement. Our current canine comfort dog, Alex, has exceeded expectations. We've had enough donations. We have not had to spend any tax dollars on Axel and his upkeep and his vet bills. And we have built up enough information, having a canine comfort dog, that we now have information that we need to apply for a grant to fund a second dog. The chief would like to look into this, add a second therapy dog and a handler to complement the efforts of Axel. When we applied for the comfort dog initially, they require, the grants always require information and data. We had nothing to use. We have it now. So the police department's going to start looking into applying for grants, and hopefully we'll sometime in 2023, it'd be nice to see a second comfort dog here. And as we voted on it in public safety, unless there's a dire need for a public safety meeting on December 22nd, we have canceled the meeting. So that's on the record. If there's any questions. Yeah.
Concerning Axel, if somebody did want to donate towards the cause, how would they go about doing that?
So in the past, when folks had wanted to donate, there's a brief letter, a memo, a note included with perhaps a donation or an ask of, how a donation could be made. We have in the past accepted checks cash to the police department earmarked for Axel, and then we put it into his special account.
So the Indiana Police Department.
Yes, yeah, and then in the memo,
Support Axel.
Comfort Canine Program, or in a letter, and then we'll get it to the exact right place.
I have a question about if we got a second dog and a new handler, is that a new member of the force, or would that be an existing officer? Okay. I mean, I wish every officer had a comfort dog with them.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing, and I think it's something else that our police department has been, and the chief have been focusing on community policing. And I think this just enhances it. It brings a lot of good publicity and a lot of goodwill.
So hanging out outside of Horace Mann this afternoon.
So.
I got this down today. He smelled my dogs.
That's it for me.
Any further questions for public safety? Public Works, and Gerald's message said that either Casey or Sarah could handle it, and you're prepared to do it.
Get the last one. All right, we met on Monday, November 28th. You can see the very long report. I'll highlight a few things. We discussed the Indiana Fire Department request for plowing. The staff is working on a way to handle that in-house. We also discussed the excellent job that the Public Works crew has done, handling all the help with the holiday festival and the parade. And they really have to go above and beyond to get all that up for everybody. We discussed some increase in prices at the wastewater treatment plant. The polymer is going up. We use that for our rotary press. So it's a large expense. And so couple cents here and there does add up quite a bit. The street operations and the facilities and the parks continue to be maintained. We discussed the Nixon roadway. It's the avenue extension that will ideally drain a swamp that's been forming in that area. I'm sure you're all aware of the petition that was signed a couple of years ago. We've been working on this, so we've decided to move forward with the full road. We have the approvals from all the individuals that we needed to move forward. Approved another payment on some work in the wastewater treatment plant. You can see that there. The Borough building project is moving forward. They've been having a lot of meetings, trying to define the scope of work and figure out what the final cost will be. The 15th Street Stormwater Project, which is using that CDBG funds, that looks like it's going to be going ahead in the spring, and everything's moving forward with that. We also discussed later in the meeting some work on South Fisher Avenue and potentially using future CDBG funds for that project, because it ends up being a stormwater project. The issue there is that there is, they need to install a stormwater retention. Lots of work to be done, because what's happening is it's washing out driveways and roads, and it's like filling in the sidewalk on people's property. So we're asking people to maintain their sidewalks, but they're covered in gravel, or because it's washing out. So it's a larger project. So that's what we're looking at for future CDBG funds.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Okay.
If you're familiar with that area, you'll see it's got some serious topography, so there's some issues there with putting in sidewalks, because it's got a big hill. There's not sidewalks on most of it, but there are some sidewalks. So it's one of those like very patchy areas as far as walkability. So this would probably go along with building up our sidewalks in the area. It's a very walkable area from campus. If you're familiar with where Fisher Avenue is, it's between like 13th and I guess there's no other until you get to Taco Bell. There's no other road there. They're all closed up. Yeah, yes.
If you're coming from here.
Which blocks of Fisher, the whole thing?
It's the one right next to Oakland. So that area, yeah. So if you walk through there, you'll see that there is a lot of gravel that just gets washed down when it rains, and there's just not a lot of stormwater. I mean, it requires like paving, sidewalks, stormwater. It's a big project. Yeah. But it's hard to ask people to maintain their sidewalks when they're. So. I think that's about it. Sarah, did you have anything that from the points?
Just motions on the agenda.
Back.
Did bring that up.
Hey, this is, So this is a ordinance, so I would guess it's a roll call here. Move to amend ordinance 2010-06, pre-treatment standards for publicly owned treatment works for the Borough of Indiana and providing for severance and repeal.
This was the motion we advertised last month, correct?
To amend. I mean, it's.
It's a motion to amend the ordinance, but essentially right, yeah, and you had to advertise the amendment.
Okay, so
I know we voted on that last month, so
So we need to do a
I
roll
would do a
call.
roll call.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ford. Harry. Raxa.
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
Noel.
Yes.
Smith. Steelman. Yes. Taylor. Warner.
Yes.
Tanya.
All right, the second motion is a resolution. Move to approve a resolution to apply for a DCED COVID-19 ARPA PA small water and sewer grant for phase 2 of the South 15th Street Culvert Replacement Project. What this is the 15th Street Culvert Replacement Project is a huge project. We've used a couple different years of CDBG funds for it, but there is a gap, and we were considering cutting some of the project or finding an alternative way. So since it's already shovel ready, we're applying for this grant to try to finish the project with grant funds.
Kyle's doing an excellent job filling out all the paperwork and submitting it by the deadline. So the deadline's December, 21st. So this is like one of the last steps that I think he needs. So, and it's for $384,000. So we'll help finish that project.
but this is a resolution, so it doesn't need a roll call.
You can do a roll call.
Do the roll call?
You can do a roll call. You don't need to do, because it's a resolution.
So I said, we don't need to do the roll call, right?
Right.
All right.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I misheard you. We were agreeing and just not hearing each other.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Anything else from Public Works?
Unless Sarah has something to add. All right.
Anything from Shade Tree?
Yeah, a few things. We did meet about a week ago. Pruning will need to be done before spring. It was while the trees are dormant. And the arborist said there are about 30 trees that need to be worked on. They are large enough that they will need to be done professionally rather than in-house. And bids will be accepted for pruning. It was decided to create a subcommittee to create a 5-year tree planting schedule. Creating a 5-year plan will help with budgeting and working with Public Works and other committees. And this subcommittee's work should be done hopefully within 6 months after January 1st. And our arborist, Bob Cruzan, is still working on reviewing ordinances. He's been real busy, so he had put that on the back burner. And the final thing we decided is the Shade Tree Committee will not meet on December 26th.
Surprise.
So,
Any questions for Shade Tree? Borough Manager.
Start off by wishing everybody a happy holidays. I know most of the committees other than community development's the only one still on the agenda for this month, which is good. And I just want to thank everybody for the past year that everybody who's worked with me to get me through this first year. It's been a great experience, and I think we've all had a great year. We had some good things, a lot of good things happen, and I want to continue that for 2023, a lot of goals. We had that work session to prioritize some of those goals, and I think we're gonna do a lot in 2023. The next couple of weeks are going to be very busy for me. That's when I close out 2022, get all my reports ready for the auditor and get 2023 closed out and get all the reports submitted. So that's all I have.
Other questions for the manager?
Nice first year.
yeah.
Great job. Thanks.
Sure. I wanted to give a civil service report as it appeared in our public safety minutes. We were very forward and intentional with our recruiting campaign this year, starting in September and moving towards October. And so we recruited at 20 locations. Those locations quickly, just so council understands the recruitment effort. The IUP Police Academy, the National Association of Black Law Enforcement Officers, the Indiana NAACP, the IUP Criminology Department, IUP Anthropology Department, IUP Athletics Department, IUP Center for Multicultural Student and Leadership Engagement, Mansfield University, Westmoreland County Community College, Delaware County Community College, Allegheny County Police Academy, Mercyhurst Police Academy, Harrisburg Area Community College, Lackawanna College Police Academy, Allentown Police Academy, Temple Police Academy, Borough Social Media Accounts, Renda Broadcasting, and the Indiana Gazette. For those recruitment efforts, we received 24 applications, which I consider to be significant for the state of recruitment in police service and moving into 2022. Of those 24 applicants, 14 appeared for our preliminary testing. Of those 14 that appeared for physical fitness and written examinations, we had 6 applicants that did not pass. In total, 8 applicants participated in an oral exam that took place on November 7th. All passed. Our civil service list, which was effective December 4th, 2023, contains 8 eligible candidates for the from between December 4th of 2022 and December 4th of 2023. Of those 8 candidates, 5 are men, 3 are women, and they are scattered throughout the list. Moving forward, the police department participated in No Shave November, as I announced to public safety, and I believe this council, that was for November. It's since passed. I just wanted to report publicly that the police department raised above $300 that will be donated to a charity this month. So that for the efforts. The calls for service for November are contained within your council packet. If there are any specific questions on that, I would be happy to answer at the end. I wanted to highlight a collaborative public safety effort that occurred in Indiana Borough on December 2nd, around 11:45 a.m. There was a structure fire, the report of a structure fire in the 100 block of North 6th Street. The fire was significant by all measures. But what I want to highlight is that there was an immediate response by your police department and some actions taken by officers that I'll be relaying at another opportunity. There was also an immediate response from the fire department that was of a magnitude, scale and scope that was impressive on all counts. And also there was an effort by Citizens Ambulance Service, who at one point in time had 4 different ambulances circulating in and out, to make sure that everyone was safe and cared for. So I'm very proud of the effort of not only the police department, but our public safety partners. And I think that an incident like that really displays in a forward way how, not only, tragedy occurs, but there is a response that's proportionate to public safety and all facets that residents of Indiana Borough can be very proud of. So I thank our partners at Citizens Ambulance and the Fire Service. I will have for members of council a year-end report of 2022 police activity. That has been traditionally given to council in the end of January, beginning of February 2023. So please be patient with me as I will have that document and a further discussion on that. I too wanted to echo what Manager Cephas echoed, that thank you all for your support. I want to specifically thank also Manager Cephas and Mayor Simmons, who have been tremendous assets to the community and the police department. They've certainly been great partners, and just truly thank them. And I thank all of you for your support. As the months go by, there are challenges and difficulties and public safety issues, and I just appreciate your partnership, your joint leadership, and your support. And then just the final happy holidays. And thank you for everything that you've done for me and my family.
Questions for the chief?
I had a question on the parking department report. Is that? That's administration. Sorry. My bad. I lost track of where it was and like.
We can go back to that.
Okay, I'll wait until we're done with chief and then I'll have a question.
Anything else for the chief?
Obviously, you saw the report regarding the Philadelphia Street Heartland request. The court entered their ruling against the borough. We will talk about steps moving forward. I've been working with Manager Cephas on several issues. And we're continuing to try to navigate through a couple things that we've discussed previously. But no real updates on most of those things at this time. As I mentioned previously, I will be unavailable for from the 13th of December through the end of the year. I'll have my phone probably after the 20th. I should be able to answer calls and deal with emails and things, but I will probably be out of my office. I have to have some surgery on the 13th. So hopefully we'll get through that and the holidays will be over, and my kids are blaming me for ruining Christmas. So hopefully I don't ruin Christmas. As I said, the only way that Christmas will be ruined is if I don't come out of the anesthesia, I think. But I plan on, I put faith in the surgeons. So hopefully I'll be all right. But just so you know, there'll be about a week window where I'm probably just not going to be available. If there's something of urgency, Nicole can get a hold of my office. My wife will be covering. She's joined my practice as of December 1st. So she will be able to assist. And as the doctor said, he goes, hey, once I get you off the narcotics, you'll be good. You can work from home. So, you know, I
How
hope to
kind.
be off those very quickly. That's not something I look forward to. But that's all I have. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and whatever celebrations you and your family celebrate.
Thank you. Same to you. There are any questions? I was sent the report from the IUP representative. Did all council members get that? Okay. Then you can all read that.
I said to wish everybody a happy holidays, and she had a scheduling conflict and to pass that along. So.
I know I shouldn't comment on legal matters at this point, but I do want to express my disappointment in the ruling by Judge Clark. I read it, and to my mind, it bears only a passing resemblance to the facts of the case. Other than that, I attended the monthly stormwater meeting, ably chaired by Kyle Mudry, where plans for the coming year were discussed, including participating in the annual Home Builders event in May, March. Kyle and his crew have done an excellent job in enabling the borough, along with our partners, to provide rain barrels at these events. And they were not washed out 40-some rain barrels. These are barrels that previously had olives in them, so they needed some cleaning out. Immediately after that meeting, I attended the SPCPPP. I had to say it that way, the Southwest Pennsylvania Commission Public Participation Panel. I didn't learn much of anything new, but I did have the opportunity to speak at length with Harold Swan, planning manager at PennDOT District 10, about concerns over how PennDOT deals with their roads in the borough. Specifically, I stressed the importance of traffic calming measures on South 6th Street and on Philadelphia Street, and about the spotty maintenance record on other state roads within the borough. And I gave him my card and he promised to get back to me. We'll see. And I'm sure we've all heard comments about how great our downtown looks right now. But just the other day, I had someone who lives in White Township take the time to telephone me to tell me how much she appreciates what's been done. I, of course, had very little to do with any of it, but our public works employees and our businesses and civic volunteers have all done a fantastic job. We live in a beautiful town. Happy holidays to everybody.
Mr. Mayor, just to add to the fire that we had on our 6th Street, we also had mutual aid from about five other companies. When you have fires like that during working hours, it's tougher these days than it used to be. Whenever there were more coal mines, we had people working different shifts, and so we were manned a little better. But now it's we rely on outside fire departments just like they rely on us. From a public works point of view, we have multiple hydrants in this town and good water pressure, and believe me, that's a big deal. So it's very nice because we use 5-inch hose off that off the hydrants, and when you have a fire of that degree, it really makes a big difference when you have that good pressure. So that's a good thing, and nobody was hurt. We like that also. Well, they found one.
Oh, they found one.
Alive. So then today they put some cat food out to see if they found the other. So anyway, we don't have luckily we don't have those kinds of fires that often, but when we do, it's all hands on deck, and even some of our patrolmen, we're rolling those. So I mean, it just takes that kind of effort. So we appreciate all that, and Merry Christmas.
Questions for the mayor?
I do want to point out, we do have 2 employees that one is a volunteer fireman for the Creekside Fire Department. So he was really involved in it. And Mike Enfield, who was part of that. So,
Yeah, he's a life member.
yeah. So,
Hey, is there any old business?
Just to go back to the parking department report, are the year-to-date number, and I apologize, this is something we talked about before and I just have blacked out previous months. Are the year-to-date numbers correct? Like they're an order of magnitude higher than 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Parking department numbers.
Me too now, right, guys?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what we're.
So that doesn't work out.
Up after the pandemic.
Right, but. 1,000 to 14,000 seems like, there's something out of order here.
Yes, let me check with,
It's it's in the packet.
Page is it on?
Eight packets in the last 4 days, it feels like.
It's on page number 25. in the packet.
can't be right.
Yeah, I mean, like, whoa, we're pushing. We're over 500,000.
Yeah.
Pay that garage off, man. Yeah, I mean, if you could just follow up on it, that'd be great. Thank you.
Those others are for the previous month. And then there's the year to date.
Column.
967 was the monthly. I don't think the thing for 2021, the 1,000 was monthly for 2022, because we're still in 2022. So.
Okay.
Here's worth.
I just figured we might as well get it corrected, yeah.
All those numbers read that way. That they're cumulative. The first two columns are for 1 month.
So for public clarification, which meetings?
It's monthly report, November.
This
Yeah.
past week. So,
Not a month.
For November, because it says
Yeah.
November 22, so was that November of 21, November of 22?
That's my guess.
And then where you are total for the year?
Yeah. That's what it looks like to me. Probably could have been made clearer.
So for clarification, something different, the meetings that are on the schedule for the rest of the month, which ones are still being held?
It's community development. Anything else? Go to the order, any new business?
business, yes, I do. I apologize, I don't know the lady's name. There's someone retiring next year, correct, from parking? When is she retiring?
Date is January 3rd. Mhm.
Or however long?
I think she has 12 years in.
Let her, thank her for her time.
Yeah, we can.
I just thought of this, so I apologize. I should have brought up an admin, but. About doing that, I apologize. I don't know what her name is, but
Jan Weston is retired, yes. Jan Weston.
Anything else? You're gonna order. We have a motion to adjourn. We need
Boom.
Oh, that's right. Listen, we need to have an executive session. So we're adjourning from the regular meeting. And if the gentleman of the press would like to take a moment and